Welcome to It's Happening. My name is Jared, and this is the Unseen Realm channel. Today, we are going to be discussing the Uncanny Valley with Hector. But before I get into it, guys, if you would like this video, comment on it, share it with your friends and family. It will help us get seen more. A lot of you guys know issues I have with my back and things going on. I want to show y'all something that has been a lifesaver for me. And it's one way you guys can help support us if you enjoy what we are doing here, along with subscribing to our Patreon, where we're going to be doing a lot more stuff for you guys there as well. Buying our tumblers, donating to PayPal. I've been helping a lot of people learn how to create music using AI and teaching them how to monetize that. If that's something you're interested in, let's talk. It's so much fun and so many different ways to possibly earn using our AI platform. If you are interested in something like that, let's talk. Because, guys, I'm telling you, this platform my buddy has built has made life so much easier as an entrepreneur. But even if you aren't an entrepreneur yet, or you don't own a business yet, you can build multiple ones off of this and use that as your tool. But if you're a business owner, our AI platform, you definitely want to check out. But check this out first, guys. And you should be able to find any of my links down in the description below. Okay, guys. So if you're like me and you're dealing with a lot of pain, and that pain causes stress and anxiety and makes it almost impossible to sleep at night, and you deal with it during the day, this has been a lifesaver for me, guys. I highly recommend it. I've been through multiple of these products because I cannot take pharmaceuticals. And this by far has been the best for me. I'm gonna bring on Hector now, guys, and then we're gonna get on into it. Let us know how you guys are doing. We will have the live chat up if you have any comments or questions. If you would like to chat with us, or maybe you know something about the topic we're talking about, we highly encourage you to hop on and chat with us.
How's it going, everybody?
Pretty good. Good. All right. Go ahead.
So, the Uncanny Valley. There's different. I guess, how can I say? Well, there's, I guess, two main schools of thought when it comes to it. There's a couple years ago. Well, I say a couple years ago. It was probably like around 10 or 12 years ago. There was a robotics engineer from Japan who actually named it the Uncanny Valley. And he was building robots and stuff, and he noticed, like, the more advanced his robots got, like, the more like humans, like, in structure they were. Now, when he started actually like putting faces on them, he noticed people started to get like kind of backed up about it. Like, the more human they looked, the more people were kind of like distancing themselves.
Right.
And so that's when he came up with this, like, not theory, but like the whole term of the Uncanny Valley. He has a chart, and it's like the more human something looks that isn't human, the more people are naturally like distancing themselves. And that's just like not theory, because it's been proven, but that's like, I guess, the scientific aspect of it. But then you look into the fear aspect of it, and I think I was telling you this last week, how there are three natural fears that have always existed with humans for good reason. Like a brand new baby, just through our own, like, I guess, experiences in life, a natural human will instinctively be afraid of heights, the dark, and then things that look human that aren't human.
Right.
And it's insane because it shows that fear is innate within us, and it has to be through our experiences over time, because you don't naturally just be afraid of something like that without reason.
So do you think it's something that like I've read studies on uh some scientists that did research on how things are passed along in our DNA and our bloodline, memories, things like that, fear,
Mm-hmm.
irrational fears, maybe even not even necessarily fears. Let's go the opposite way with it. Confidence. Do you think that that is part of it, and is it passed down from all over time? Because I know we have that natural fear, especially when we're young, for survival and other reasons as well. But do you think that that's part of it?
I think it is, because it also goes into like other things. Because I love that you brought up it's not just fears, like confidence, even things like luck and stuff like that. Like just I guess minor beliefs. Because there was what was it? There was a kid I was in school with once before, and I was in public school. I'm 30 years old now, so this was God knows how long. But the kid was from out here in America. Never been to Ireland or anything. Never really had no what's that thing called? Like experiences with 4-leaf clovers.
Right.
And I had one. It was a plastic one, but I had brought it to school one day, and I showed it to him. And without thinking, he goes, "Oh, that must be good luck." But he's never known anything about 4-leaf clovers and like the superstition that it's lucky. He just said he felt like it was.
Right.
And there's just different things like that where like experiences. I don't know how to say it. It's weird to try to say like, because it goes into that whole like reincarnation thing. Now, like if a person's not really reincarnated, but somehow like those memories and like experiences, I think that's like
Somehow
knowledge
are passed on.
passed down.
Yeah.
Because
I
like you
believe
don't
that.
automatically know something without having the experience,
Right.
and sometimes you don't get the experience, but you still get the knowledge.
Well, like here, for instance, I didn't even think it just popped in my head, or I would have had this pulled up. I was reading an article the other day. There is a 5-year-old. I'm probably too close to the mic. Can you still hear me good?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a 5-year-old who just got accepted into Mensa, and he scored the top 1%. This is a 5-year-old. Now, this is a high society for people with high IQs. He is a 5-year-old child, and he got accepted above the people. I mean, he did better than all of them. He scored in the top 1% of it. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So that's what makes me think there is something inside of us that's passed down or passed along, and if we can, I think we all can learn how to tap into it. How to do that, I don't know, but I do truly believe as humans that we can tap into that, going both ways, from fear or from confidence and education and learning, things like that. I would love to learn how to tap into that, but that just blew me away. A 5-year-old.
So I feel like with that kind of thing, you ever heard that like humans only use 10% of their brain or something like that? I feel like that's one of those things that it's like when you gain access to more of it, you start to understand and kind of like break down the walls.
Right.
I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, that's wild. I just couldn't believe it. 5-year-old. It reminded me of being a kid when I used to watch Doogie Howser. What do you remember that? You're a little younger than me. So Doogie Howser was a young teenager who became a doctor, a TV show. Most of y'all know who he is.
Neil Patrick Harris, huh?
Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris. Yeah, it reminded me of that when I was reading that, and that tells you how old I am. So, because I was a young teenager when that show was out.
Man. But
anyways, we do have a video that we're going to pull up. We'll do like we normally do. We'll play and stop and pause. And again, guys, if you guys have any questions for Hector or I, ask us in the live chat. We will respond to you. We want to engage with you guys. We hope that you come here to learn something or to open. More than anything, we want people to step back from what they think they know and just open their mind and start asking questions. And we're trying to find fun ways to do that.
Oh yeah.
So I'll go ahead and pull that up. It's a YouTube channel called Y-Files. If y'all have seen some of my stuff, I've played him before. But if you are not following him on YouTube, or I don't know if he's on Rumble or not, probably is, but on YouTube, the Y-Files, this guy and his team are very good. They put on some really good shows.
Oh, yeah.
I'll go ahead and pull it up.
The wife and I are watching Christmas Chronicles with Kurt Russell as a singing Santa, right? We're having a good time. Then the movie introduced something truly terrifying. Elves. That was it. Movie night was over. I couldn't watch anymore. I was done.
Oh, here we go. What's your problem with elves, Gimli?
Well, the problem is that the elves looked almost real, but not quite. Almost natural, but not quite. And it was upsetting. I mean, haven't you ever seen an animation and felt a little bit creeped out? I'm looking at you, Polar Express.
Well,
Or have you ever seen a mannequin or a robot or even a wax dummy that was very lifelike, but still looked wrong?
Sounds like you're describing a Silicon Valley CEO.
Robotic and lifelike, but not human?
Yep.
To the point where it's uncomfortable even looking at them, much less being around them?
Uh-huh.
Yep. They're awkward to watch.
I think we've been going now for just under 2 hours.
This anxiety is called Uncanny Valley, and everyone experiences it, though some of us are less tolerant than others.
Oh, let me guess. You're not very tolerant.
You are correct. I am very susceptible to Uncanny Valley, and I'm not alone. Let's find out why. Welcome to the Y-Files, where smart folks like us come to laugh and learn. Today we're going to talk about Uncanny Valley and why we feel so anxious when we experience it. So let's start with the uncanny part. Uncanny is used to describe something that's almost identical or almost perfect, but not quite there. And that's what's happening with Uncanny Valley. Think of a movie you've seen where the CGI was almost human, but not quite. How did that make you feel? A bit uneasy, right? And remember Polar Express? This movie has become a legendary bomb, and most people agree it's because the animation style landed right in the middle of Uncanny Valley. The problem comes when something artificial like a robot, animation, statue, or even a painting depicts the human form realistically. We're okay up to a certain point of realism because our brain can that the imitation is exactly that, an imitation. We're Uncanny Valley.
I'm gonna pause it for a second. I can say this for me personally, it doesn't affect me like he was saying it affects him, especially in the movies or something. I could imagine if I walked up on something, in a dark at night in an alley somewhere. Yes, it would spook me, but not to the sense like he's talking about. I guess I don't have that, whatever he's speaking like he has. It's so bad that he can't even watch shows.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because like when it comes to like the movie aspect it's not a big deal because it's behind the screen. It's not going to jump through the TV. But when it comes to like in the real world, there are like cryptids and stuff like that how everybody talks about skinwalkers, wendigos, stuff like that. Now, the thing that drew me to that aspect of it is because, okay, when we think about movies or something, we can go back like maybe 120 years or so. That's like probably when the first movie was like, whatever. Movies haven't been around that long. But you got these creatures, these cryptids that have been documented as shapeshifters way before technology even existed. Like Native Americans were talking about wendigos and skinwalkers and stuff like that. Like that's before anybody could even think to
rock art.
Yeah, like before anybody could even think to fake something like that. And that's what has me like on this, I guess, theory, if you will, that this stuff has grown alongside us. Like as the years went on of humanity, these things were also going on, and that's why we have that in-depth fear. Like, even if you take it like in the water, sirens, mermaids, like they look human, but they not. And sirens are known to like lure men to their death or whatever, make the boats crash on the rocks, stuff like that. But the alluring aspect of it is that you see a woman, and so I guess enough ships crashed that people were like, okay, yeah, we gotta not follow this sound. Don't look at the women or whatever. Stay away. It looks like one of us, but it's not. And that's just like it goes. There's so many different cryptids and stuff like that. That they follow that same aspect where like the way to lure you in is to make you think it's one of us, and then when you get too close, that's it. And it's just insane because it's like I start thinking about like the normal inanimate objects that we encounter in our day-to-day lives, and then I started like making down lists of like what are some of the like irrational fears to these inanimate objects. Like I found out, especially back in Puerto Rico, you can throw a rock and hit someone who's deathly afraid of dolls. Can't tell you why, but they know something about the dolls. Like just they can't be in a room with them, especially like porcelain dolls in Puerto Rico. Oh, that's yeah. You don't have those in your house.
Well, okay, go ahead. I was gonna say something on that, but go
No,
ahead.
no, go ahead.
So yes, depending on where you stand and your belief with God, good, evil, demon spirits, and all of those things, I am a believer in them, and I think it's in the Book of Enoch and in other places it talks about the Raphium evil spirits, the giants who were flooded, that they're roaming the earth. That the only way that they can um, contact or connect with us is through an object, ourselves. And what was the last one? I'm trying to remember what the last one was. I know it's an object, ourselves, and I guess other living beings like animals, like pigs. Like even he talks about how when Jesus threw them into the pigs. But I think I can't remember if that's exactly right, but I know it's objects, us, and there was something else that they needed to be able to interact with us. And I believe that's why a lot of those, what you're talking about, and their faith on that is because of that. That's what I think, anyways. I don't know that to be true.
Oh yeah. But yeah, it all ties together. Because it's like how you think of like a bodybuilder and like easily could just lay somebody out with his fist if he wanted to, yet he won't go into a clothing store because the mannequins standing there. Like it's like, really?
That's wild, isn't it?
Like that was an actual case where like this dude got like biceps the size of my head, but he will not go next to a mannequin. He won't go into any.
I think at that point, it's more of it becomes an irrational fear. I mean, that is like for it to control you that much to not even go into a store. That's just like I used to be deathly afraid of heights until I started, and that no, I have a good reason for that. I did fall almost 30 feet head first into a concrete drainage ditch. From that moment, I had a fear of heights. Not really a fear of heights, but a fear of hitting the ground. But as I've gotten older and things that I've done, it's mostly gone away. Now I'm still more cautious when I go up high, but that fear that overbearing fear I had when I was younger, where I would get stuck on a ladder trying to go up, it's not that way anymore. It just stopped. It went away. I don't know if it was with age or I just got used to it. If God did something for me, but I used to be deathly afraid of it. So it's not the same thing as dolls, but I guess it's the same concept. It's almost like we're feeding into that fear and making it worse.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go ahead and play a little bit more. If you want to say anything, I can see you. Just wave at me and I'll pause it. Okay.
Gotcha.
Valley starts to form is when we get too close to reality, but not quite close enough. If you were to plot realism against psychological acceptance, the curve moves steadily up and then falls off a cliff. That's the valley. And we'll get more into the science of this as the video goes along. So, with the hard lessons learned from Polar Express, animation studios began test screening their films. When the final cut of Shrek was screened, the Princess Fiona character actually reduced children to tears. Children screaming in fear is not funny.
It depends on the context.
Fair enough. So, to fix the Princess Fiona problem, the studio actually went back and made Shrek feel less lifelike in order to avoid traumatizing children. Computer games are also becoming more realistic. They can blur the line between virtual reality and actual reality. And game designers are very aware of Uncanny Valley, and they work hard to avoid it. The term Uncanny Valley was first hypothesized in 1970 by Japanese roboticist Masahiro Mori, who identified that as robots became more and more human-like, people found them to be more acceptable and appealing than their mechanical counterparts. But this only held true up to a point. When they were close to, but not quite human, people developed a sense of unease and discomfort. Take Shrek, for example. Most people remember this movie as a fun frolic through Fantasyland.
Hated it.
Hate it if you want. Most people loved it.
Shit.
Anyway, Shrek hit the sweet spot that Maury was hinting at in his hypothesis. When Princess Fiona looked almost human, she was scary as hell. But make her more like a cartoon, suddenly she's likable.
Did you say lickable?
Likable. So if it wasn't for that test screening and the identification of characters that were landing in Uncanny Valley, Shrek might never have happened.
We would have been fine without it.
People love Shrek.
Sheep.
Moving on. Modern robotics provides the most context for Uncanny Valley, which makes sense considering the term originated from that field. We've all seen robots that are made to be as lifelike as possible, but we get uncomfortable when they move unnaturally or have kind of lifeless eyes.
Very corpsey.
Corpsey?
Yeah, corpsey. Like a dead body.
No, I know what a corpse is. I just...
like that thing in your closet you bought from the internet?
Oh, there's nothing in my closet.
Oh, come on. You were on Amazon tracking the order like every 15 minutes until it got here. You kept staring out the window like a puppy dog.
There's nothing in my closet.
If your neighbors saw that thing, they'd call the cops on you.
There's nothing in my closet.
Right. There's no room for anything else with all those skeletons in here.
Engineers are very aware of Uncanny Valley, so they work hard to avoid it. Take Asimo, the Honda-designed upright android. Asimo is very human that it can walk, run, play soccer, and do all kinds of other stuff. But Asimo doesn't creep us out. A primary reason that people love this robot and don't fear it is because while Asimo's designers have replicated a lot of human behavior, they haven't tried to replicate too many human physical features. Asimo is clearly a robot, a simple machine, and nothing more. Now, it might seem counterintuitive, but something that acts human but looks artificial is much more agreeable than something that looks human and acts artificial.
It is very nice to meet you.
Much more agreeable. Asimo doesn't fall into Uncanny Valley, but put a human head on the thing, suddenly it's a horror movie.
Shrek is still worse. If we haven't earned your subscription today, I promise this moron's gonna...
You got anything you want to say on it?
I don't know, man.
I think he pretty much hit on everything we'd already hit on with that.
Not only that, but like I started thinking more like, how we're constantly upgrading our robotics and stuff like that. And I wonder if this reason, the Uncanny Valley, is the reason why, like, because we were like nonstop robotics for years, and then all of a sudden left turn AI, where you can still get stuff done, but don't have to deal with like something physical being there. And it's just like, that came out of nowhere too, because it was like, yeah, we constantly, like, you think of movies like iRobot, where like all your shopping needs can be done and all that by a robot. You just send them out, they go do your daily stuff. And then people were thinking, yeah, that's going to be the future because we're just ramping up robotics and stuff like that. And then it all shifted, and it's like AI generated and apps. So like, yeah, you can still get your shopping done, but you can just open up Brookshire's app, do your shopping, DoorDash, they'll go pick it up for you.
Right.
And it's like, it's still technology based, but shifting away from having an actual like machine come and do it, even though a machine is still doing it. It's just digital now.
But and I still they are gearing up to have machines do it. I mean, eventually it will be just like these McDonald's now that don't have employees. You're gonna order something from Walmart and they're gonna load it up in their robot car that's gonna deliver it to you, and it'll be able to back up to your house somehow and have a lift that comes out and set it all down and be able to drive right off.
That reminds me of God, what was it? The Amazon drone deliveries.
Yeah, that
the drones just taking off with your package and then dropping it for you and then just gone.
Right, but which is a cool idea. And if you had the structure and everything set up for it, it would work. But the problem, you still got the human aspect of it, and the human aspect of, oh, there's a drone carrying a package, take it down, shoot it, whatever, Just like they've attacked the robot cops, the robot cars. They've already been doing it over and over and over again. So the next step would be to arm the robots to protect themselves somehow. And I definitely don't want that.
Yeah,
I like the idea of the delivery stuff. I think all that stuff is interesting and cool and can definitely be used to our benefit. But there's every time we build something that has benefit like that, there is always a lot of danger around the corner, depending on what human is around.
Yeah,
that makes any sense. But yeah,
it was a stupid video I saw on TikTok, but Roombas. They supposed to just clean your floors, and then a bunch of college students attached like a balloon to the back of them, and then taped a bunch of knives, and then had them like fighting to see whose balloons get popped.
Yeah.
So it's like for all advancements, there's always going to be people with like less than best intentions for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like, they weaponized a Roomba, and then like I've seen like meme pictures, like when the feds try to invade my home, and there's like a Roomba with a claymore attached to the top of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's wild. Well, we're already at 30 minutes. Do you have anything else you want to say on this?
No, that's about it. We pretty much touched everything.
All right. Well, where can the viewers find you at, and tell them your pages and where they can get your book.
Okay. So where am I? Right,
you're
there?
good. You
Demise Gone. Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Twitch, pretty much anywhere you type that up, that's me. And then those are the main ones. Yeah, just Demise Gone on those platforms.
And then you get the book on Amazon.
Oh yeah, and my book. I don't have the box in here.
It's okay. I'll come back. I'll come back and put the link in the comments after.
Gotcha. So the 100 Tales for Gabriel on Amazon. I'm working on 3 more right now. The book sale was Saturday that just passed, the 2nd.
How did that go?
It went pretty good. I got invited back to go back in May, and then a couple local businesses told me like if I wanted to, they would advertise for me to go over there, do a book reading, and then sell the book. So I'll probably do that next month, seeing how my back progresses after this physical therapy and everything.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good. Stay on for a minute. Yeah, guys, we're going to go ahead and end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We are going to, I say we are. I am getting in myself in a position to where I can start being here more and preparing more on these shows. I actually want to start bringing y'all more from me and him as well. I want me and Hector to do an extra show for our Patreon for our subscribers there, because I'm also going to be doing a bunch of other stuff for the political side, and I'm going to be doing AI trainings on there as well. We're going to be doing giveaways, and so just you can help support us by subscribing to Patreon. It will help us continue to grow, be able to hire people, and do things like this even more. So I hope to see you guys again next week. We are going to do this on Fridays for now. We do not have a set time as of now, but hopefully soon we can figure out how to set a time. That way, y'all know every week exactly what time it's going to be. But until then, you can watch the replay right here. Make sure you follow all my social media accounts, which you can find, I think, on my Home Rumble page. And don't forget to go check out our CBD products that I showed you. It has been a lifesaver for me, guys. You guys have a wonderful day. God bless, and we'll see you again next Friday. And I will be back on later today on my political channel. God bless. Y'all have a wonderful day.